are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community. And I'm one of your hosts, Wanzo.
And I'm your other host, John Paul Leek.
Together we are
Robreak.
And family, welcome to another Smackdown episode. You know, the review for every single thing that happened the Fallout show for Fastlane. And we kind of reported it. We kind of mentioned it. They're going to make it a triple threat. They're going to announce a triple threat. Yep, we have a triple threat. So a little tainted. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be better. But the build-up for, WrestleMania 20, it seems to have like the same kind of thing for what it is going to be, this SmackDown like championship feud.
Yeah, I guess we saw it coming just because of the reports and everything and the way they were really pushing Daniel Bryan these past couple weeks, winning the Elimination Chamber, all that stuff. And, you and I both agree Edge is better as a heel. Maybe they figured, hey, we want to turn this guy heel. Maybe he wanted to be heel. And they said, let's put Daniel Bryan in this. He's the best baby face we have on SmackDown. So, maybe that was all the deciding factors. And it was a way to get him also on the WrestleMania since, they need to get everyone on WrestleMania, which some of the matches that we got officially announced tonight, not so good. But this triple threat, though, I am looking forward to.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's going to be a good, it's possibly, it's going to add a more, playback. It's going to be a little better to see who's going to be like, the champion, because I don't know if Edge is going to be the champion, Roman might retain, or Bryan might have his big moment. So thank you so very much for being with us. We're really excited. Thank you again. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and comment. We're here live on Facebook and on YouTube, family. Don't forget to support us with this video also, like the NXT UK review. This is, also like this new episode with like a no disqualification match. Who can save Ilja Dragunov from himself? We saw that yesterday with a great match, but of course Ilja Dragunov wins because he keeps getting triggered by the chops and all of that. So tell me a little bit about this feud.
Yeah, this was a really good episode, and I enjoyed it. Great main event, hard fought, probably the best Sam Gradwell match that we've seen, but a good win for Ilja Dragunov. And also, Noam Dar, he had Trent Seven on his Supernova sessions, hyping up his match in 2 weeks against Tyler Bate. So that's going to be, a good match. And, we're also looking forward to Prelude in 2 weeks. Lots of great matches on that show as well.
Exactly. So, let's start with like the beginning of the show. And this is, Daniel Bryan. He's out and he's talking about, how in Fastlane, actually we saw Roman Reigns, being pinned, or he submitted. So he just is talking about that. He's mentioning like, well, everybody saw it. So I just won, my championship opportunity one more time. And I deserve it. I won my big WrestleMania moment. Everybody saw it. Roman Reigns tap out. Nobody thought that I could do it. I ended up doing it by the help of Jey Uso and everything. And also Edge, instead of like kind of seeing it since he was the enforcer, then actually, he hit me with a chair. So you see like a really impactful promo by Daniel Bryan. I don't know how you felt, but like, the promo work of all this rivalry is really, really good.
Yeah, Daniel is just so good at a promo. Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic in the ring, but a great promo, especially babyface. Heel, he's great as well. But this was good. He said this is the first time Roman has ever tapped out, never tapped out before I did it. And he's like, this is bullshit. There's so much double standards going on, and he's like, I want my championship match tonight, and I'm not leaving this ring until I get an answer. So it almost like how he did the Occupy Raw. This was like the Occupy SmackDown.
Yes, exactly. Like I liked it, like you said, like he's like also talking about all of these things and how he's just not gonna leave, like you said. So, well, have the guys coming. I'm waiting. And nobody really comes out. And Adam Pearce comes out and he's like, you know what? No. We made the decisions here. You're not the guy that does it. Hold on. And then we get to see the rated R superstar Edge. He comes out, and then all of a sudden, like you see Edge, but like not the babyface Edge. It's more like an Edge that is like really ready to kick somebody's ass. Edge completely like focused, confident, centering what he's gonna say. And he says, you know what, like, you son of a bitch. I like that when they add that word at the end. But he's like, 10 years I've been wanting for this. You won your WrestleMania moment. I've been wanting my WrestleMania moment. Every single match could be my last. So, like, no, you're not taking this away from me. I won the Royal Rumble. I beat you. I beat everybody. I came out first. So, you're not going to get that for me. And, we get to see that. But then Edge really turns on Daniel Bryan. So he starts beating him up. He spears him. So what did you think about this new attitude of Edge?
I mean, he's real intense, and see, everything he said is true, where he's like, oh, at WrestleMania Night 2 will be 10 years to the day that I have to give up the World Heavyweight Championship. And, he's, so you understand where he's coming from. but it's like his want and his desire to get the title back has, caused him and pushed him, to the dark side, so to speak. He's turned heel, you could say, or, it's driven him to that point, which, some people probably like the babyface Edge. We like heel Edge more. So this is fine because, you can still kind of sympathize with him as well because everything he says is true.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like I really think that that's how it's supposed to be. And like you said, like look, he beats him up, and then he beats him up with a chair also. So we get to see like the rated R superstar. This is the real Edge for me. And like you said, I'm really happy, and I feel that like for most people consider him as heel, but like if you're defending something that you earn, I don't see that as being a heel.
Exactly.
He just wants to be, he wants to his spot. He earned it. So like, the build up for WrestleMania 20 is exactly the same. Remember how Shawn, he wanted to beat Triple H, and then also remember Benoit won the Royal Rumble. Benoit is like, you're not going to have the match. So pretty similar, don't you think? I like that.
Yeah, I would definitely say the pieces are a little bit different because like Brian is more like the Benoit instead of it being Edge. But yeah, it's definitely like similar how, it's kind of set up where the two guys want to have the feud and the third guy's like, hey, what about me? And they're like, yeah, screw you.
That's exactly. So,
and like, I wonder if the outcome will be the same. I wonder if that means Daniel Bryan will be winning this. And
Labelle log and pressure and top, maybe the same thing. So please, comment what you guys feel. What you guys like. Do you like that there's a triple threat? Do you like that like this was added like this? Let us know how you feel about this. But like you said, rated R superstar. Look at that. Like the intensity. And finally, to me, a little heel is not bad. But we get to see Roman, he's looking right there. So what are they going to do with me? So he says like, Paul Heyman, I want to talk to Adam Pearce. I want to know what he has to say. So, come get him. And also you, Jay, come on, let's go. Let's do this. So, they were going to talk about a little bit about all this situation. But then we get a rematch from what was Fastlane. So I don't know what you feel about this, but like, okay, again, Seth Rollins against Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm like, so why they always recycle these things? Didn't we see this also on Monday Night Raw with Sheamus? I think it was with Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I mean, but this was a good match, though. But again, it was, pretty much just like a repeat of what we've seen on the pay-per-view. But I like Nakamura's intensity. He looked good here. But of course, as Rollins was going to win. And as I'm watching this match, I'm like, he's going to win. He's probably going to beat down Nakamura after the match. Be like, I beat you twice. I'm going to make an example of you or something like that. And Cesaro's going to make the save, which is pretty much exactly what happened. But, this was still a good match for Nakamura. I wish they would have almost had it where Cesaro came out because, WWE just does stupid shit where people come out during matches all the time. We actually saw that later on tonight with Sasha again. But you could have had Cesaro come out mid-match, distract Rollins, let's, Nakamura get a sneaky win over the heel, and that would have it would have did good for Nakamura because it don't matter. Seth Rollins is already going to have this match with Cesaro at WrestleMania, so instead of just having Nakamura lose twice, but they did what they did. It was a decent opening match to start SmackDown, though.
Oh yeah, like you said, and then at the end, we got to see the curb stomp. This time they did the curb stomp good, so I'm happy. Like Juan gets his curb stomp back, so good stuff. And then Cesaro came out, like you said, the flying uppercut, that was really good. And then Cesaro really intense, ready to go, and finally he's getting the type of attention that he always deserved. He's getting that baby face push. Seth Rollins is helping him out, selling as a heel, really good stuff. And also, one of our friends, Stephen Logan, says Mania 31 again. Daniel Bryan sneaks in, Legend wins Rumble, and then Bryan gets in. I'm happy for Bryan, and I really like the Psycho Edge. So yeah, I feel that like that is a good build for that. And this match for Seth Rollins and also Cesaro is going to be really good. Again, if Cesaro gets that win, I feel that like that push finally culminates in SummerSlam. That's what I really want to see. Finally,
I agree.
Opportunity. There's no, hopefully it's not the Seth Rollins. Remember with Kevin Owens, and then Kevin didn't do anything. They didn't really cash into, anything.
And we'll talk about Kevin Owens not doing anything in a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's coming, like you said, exactly. So we got to see after this post match, we got to see Seth Rollins with Kayla Braxton. He's like, hey, I'm really, tired that people disrespect me all the time. And, Cesaro is never gonna swing me again. And little did we know that like he was gonna go and being another time, swung by Cesaro, another like 5-6 times, and he issued the challenge. He says, I want Cesaro in Imagine WrestleMania. So there you go. And Cesaro said, I accept. So you see finally Cesaro being pushed really, really great. And I mean, if he doesn't win here, I don't think he's ever gonna get pushed. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, he has to win. And that's what I think this feud is just setting him up for. It's for him to win because now we think about it. What did we say a couple weeks ago? Oh, I don't know if they're going to do babyface Cesaro versus a babyface Edge. Now Edge isn't really a babyface anymore. So it's perfect to have Cesaro. Let's say he beats Seth Rollins. Okay, he becomes new number one contender. He can go against Edge, like you said, maybe a SummerSlam, Extreme Rules, something like that. I could see Extreme Rules, maybe like a Roman or Daniel Bryan rematch, because that's like, stipulation pay-per-view. But then at SummerSlam could just be a one-on-one with Cesaro. That would be great.
And that would be great, like you said. And then like a good passing of the torch. Okay, I got my moment. I have my championship. Okay, now let's build.
I mean, if they would put the belt on him, legit, I could see Edge beating him at SummerSlam. I'm not saying Edge would lose, but I mean, if they would, legit.
I just need Cesaro, finally have some faith in this guy.
Even if he wins it on a Sunday and then loses it on a Friday.
That, Christian. Yeah, we're going to be talking about
or Kane.
Or Kane, that's fine. Let's go to the, Tribal Chief. And he says, you know what? Like, you always in WrestleMania, you only have me for one night and no two title defenses like Daniel Bryan had said in the promo. He said, like Roman and Edge 9-1 and night 2, I get the winner and like pick up the scraps. I'm like, no. He's like, none of that garbage, okay? He's like, you have me for one night and one title defense. So like Pierce is like, well, like I gotta make my decisions. I got to wait a lot of things, but I'll communicate my decision at the end of the night. So we were just waiting. We were just like, they're gonna do it, whatever. Nothing crazy here. So let's go with like the next match, and this was actually Big E and also like the Street Profits going against Otis and Chad Gable and Apollo. So this was just to put over Apollo, and I like that. And Otis is looking really great as a heel. Just because, like, even Michael Cole said, because of the work that he's been doing with Chad Gable, he does all the talking for him. I miss Tucky. I think that, like, you miss Tucky also, but I don't know. He just, like, disappeared in the obscurity. I don't know what happened with Tucky, but at least Chad Gable is giving Otis, like, another layer. Like, another
and you did, and the problem was they didn't, just strike while the iron was hot for the, the heavy machinery when they were really over. You didn't put the belt on them. You didn't do anything with them. So that ship has sailed. I like this Alpha Academy, though, or whatever you want to call it. Gable and Otis look really good, and they look good in this match. I thought they had a really good showing, and but of course it was like, okay, we get Montez Ford. He takes all the bumps, blah blah blah. Big, tag into Big E, and Big E's. I didn't like how he beat up Otis and Gable, and he pretty much dominated them. But then, like you said, Apollo came in after some craziness, dives and everything, and he hit that big, angle slam or Olympic slam. That's his new finisher, I guess. 1, 2, 3 gets a pin over Big E, and it looks a good win for him and the heels. So I was happy they won, because I was thinking, oh, here we go, baby faces are gonna win, and it's like, oh, but no, the heels won. And I like that.
Exactly. Like, you build what? You're hyping them up, because it's confirmed that they're gonna have another match at WrestleMania, and I think it's night 2. And also remember, like we confirmed in the report, that like they botched the finish at Fastlane. It's supposed to be a completely different thing, but of course they did this awful finish, really confusing. So they had to go with it. So there you go. It gives like the thing for like another match at WrestleMania, which I feel that it has to be the win for Apollo, because if you don't, then when are you going to strike with Apollo? But like, this is good. And we'll see. Like, I feel that like Otis and Chad Gable are going to be added to the tag team match at WrestleMania. So everything is like falling into place, which I like. Is a really good stuff. So Paul, tell me a little bit about this, because this is when nothing falls into place. We've seen this before since the NXT days. Can we get something different for these two guys? Maybe it would have been a much better idea if you actually made them a tag team and they can go for the tag team belts. We were going to have the chaos.
That's. I mean, both options are awful. It's like, pick your poison. Do you want them to just be a tag team again, which nobody really will buy or believe? Or do you want to have them in a one-on-one match, which no one will really, want to see or buy or believe? And, but they gave us a one-on-one. It's like, oh, Kevin Owens is going to have the KO show and Sami Zayn's on it because KO needs to ask him a question. He needs the answer to something. And it's like, oh, we don't really want to see this.
Exactly. Like, like he came out and, I want the answers for that. And Sammy's like apologizing for the haluva kick last week. I'm sorry, bro. So, I'm sorry, Jean-Paul. I got carried away. It happens, though, don't hate and all of that. And then he mentions that, I know what your question is going to be, and you want to ask me to be part of the documentary. And I have great news for you, because next Friday I'm going to be in the red carpet. I'm going to be releasing the trailer for my great documentary. So I mean, like Sami Zayn sending this thing, he does the best. I think he does the best what he's given. like he really tries to like make his feuds or whatever story that he has like make it better. But in this situation, it's unsavable. Like you said, this is just awful. Really bad for Kevin Owens having this great rivalry with Roman Reigns to just do this. I feel bad for KO. And then just pretty much KO just says that like, how about a match between the two of them at WrestleMania? And so well, we're gonna have the match, and I'm happy about this. No, I don't really like this idea. And KO did a stunner on Kevin O on Sami Zayn. I'm sorry, and they of course they got to stare at the symbol, at the logo. Do I like this? I don't think so. I really don't like this. But how about you? I think you hate this as much as I do.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this match. We've seen it so many times. And this is what I said. They just got to get everybody on the show. This is just how they get these two in the show. And it's, like you said earlier, last year, Kevin Owens beat Seth Rollins and he didn't do anything, no titles, nothing to show for it. And now he's in this awful, low card, bathroom break match. And it's a shame because both guys deserve better, but this is what they're given. So
yes.
I don't know.
Exactly. No, it doesn't really help out the feud. Like, I feel bad for both guys. Please, if you have like your contract is about to expire, maybe I'm not going to say AEW because everybody AEW. Maybe Impact. Maybe like we see Cardona and Brand Myers. They're having friends like feud and everything, but at least it's treated a little better. And we haven't seen that so many times like this one. So we go like with our rated R superstar. He talks to Adam Pearce. He's like, so remember, like I won my singles match. And if you don't give me that, you're going to face the consequences. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy. So, like, you see Edge really trying to save that for himself, And then, like Steven is saying, like, 2 nights, so they got to fill the cards. That's why they give the match with, like, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But really, nobody, I don't think, is looking forward. It's a feud that we've seen so many times before. And Daniel Bryan, he's also, like, lobbying it. I won my match. He's like, I know the pressure that you have, Adam. I was the GM of SmackDown before, but I know better than anybody else that, like, deep down, you're going to make the right decision. And, and Adam Pearce said, well, my job is to execute that, to make sure that, like, I get the right decision for you. So you see that, like, they were still teasing the idea. So throughout the night, that was the main message. So there you go. We go now to, like, Bianca Belair. And, like, this, I don't know how you feel about this, but this, the whole legitimacy that this match could have had, I'm completely, uninterested. Because they didn't treat it as, like, a good feud. They didn't give me more elements between the two of them. Because of this awful like tag team that they had, and at the end Nia and Shayna end up retaining the belts. So just pretty much Bianca says that she's not concerned about Sasha anymore, but only like the fight that they're gonna have at WrestleMania, and then she's gonna humiliate this girl, and she's gonna become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. So she had a match with Natalya, and like this is just to like put over like Bianca Belair, but like you said, in the awful fashion that WWE is treating us lately, we get to see Sasha Banks on commentary.
Yeah, this wasn't just, I mean, like you said, it's tainted because, you had this legit feud. You thought, okay, what did we say? Give Bianca Bailey in the meantime, have that be a decent feud. But instead, it's like, here's the makeshift tag team, and then everything with Carmella, Reginald, and then Nia and Shayna. It just isn't good. And it's like, I'm not any like less excited, but this feud isn't getting me excited. I'm just like, I know the match will be a good match. These two are very talented, but just the story of, the feud is not very good. So.
Oh yeah, it's not. And like you said, like, Sasha Banks is saying Bianca, she takes like, she talks about being so resilient, during the Royal Rumble match, but I was the first Iron Woman match in the roster in the WWE, and I lasted 30 minutes, and then Michael Cole goes, but did you win the match? And, and she goes, well, but who's the champion now? Like all of that. So, you see like Sasha Banks is finally turning the heel that we wanted it. And like you mentioned, like this is the fact that like they use all this, especially where's Carmella now? Whereas like Reginald is now with Nia. So like, did you really cash in into Carmella? No, you didn't. So in the end of the day, Jean-Paul, there you go. Kiss of death. 1, 2, 3, Bianca wins. And, Stephen Logan is saying, watch Shane jump off the ship instead of Kevin Owens. So, we'll see. Like a lot of people are saying that Shane is going to do one of those big stunts that he does, throughout WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens. And then to me, this was a little like better, despite this, match and everything. Edge talking to Roman Reigns. He goes to like talk to him. And then he says, I need to talk to you. And he says, Daniel Bryan is trying to steal our moment in WrestleMania and just add it to our match like he did in 2014. But this is the right moment to use your influence because I know I can beat Bryan and be champion. So think about that. So you see like an alliance in between, kind of in the works with that. But, Edge, is from finally being, to me, the ultimate opportunist one more time. He wanted his match and all of that. So this promo work was very good. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I like this by Edge, and like you said, the ultimate opportunist, because he's like, think about it. If you let Daniel Bryan get in this match, I don't have to beat you. I can just beat Daniel Bryan, and then you lose your title. So that makes Roman think, yeah, the more people in this match, the greater chance he has to lose his belt. Why would he want that to happen? So, he's going to listen to what Edge has to say.
Yeah, like you said, finally, imagine Edge was like old baby face, and it's like, no, I don't want to get in next to Roman, or just I'll see you at WrestleMania. And I was like, hey, he might, if he wants to steal our moment, so maybe we can work something out. So different things. I like that. The storytelling in the main feud in SmackDown is really good, and this is also good. Like to me, we mentioned this. We've been teasing this idea for a long time now, and this is Rey Mysterio, and Rey Mysterio is just talking about he wants to become a tag champion with Dominic. So like you see Eddie Guerrero right there in the t-shirt. So they want that big moment, and I hope they do it, because outside of that, is Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler doing anything with those championships? Probably not. The Street Profits, champions before, we've seen them. Are they going to put the titles on Otis and Chad Gable? Probably not. So the best idea is just go with this team.
Yeah, or at least at WrestleMania, if maybe the Mysterios eventually can drop the belts to Alpha Academy, and then they can have a title run, maybe give it back to the Street Profits, so you go from heel to babyface to heel to babyface, back and forth. But I think the Mysterios deserve, and they need that WrestleMania moment the most. That'll be the feel good moment for a lot of the fans at WrestleMania, to see Rey and his son win the tag belts.
Yeah, that would be. Remember that we were teasing last year about the match between them, and then Rey maybe giving the mask and retiring. Well, at least something like that big moment for Rey Mysterio. Do some justice to the great career that this guy has ever given, and passing like, hey, Dominic, you're the next one. Like, I don't know, be on your own, and then show what you got. So he got a match with Dolph Ziggler. This was a pretty good match though, because of course two guys that know how to wrestle. They got to give us a story. It doesn't matter whether the story is good or bad. They gave us a pretty good match. I enjoyed this. Rey Mysterio doing really good job performing, and Dolph Ziggler, of course, being Dolph. Great match. I like, like super kicks, the zigzag, and all of that. But in the end, Rey gets the win. And it's just why to hype that, because they can say, oh,
yeah, and I like the spot. Now, obviously, there was probably like a crash pad, safety pad, whatever. When he threw Rey over the barricade, that was a good spot. Bobby Roode got involved, Dominic a little bit. The only thing, and this was a really good match. I did like it. I like how Rey won. The only thing I thought was a little bullshit was Rey kicked out of the Famouser and the zigzag.
Yeah. Well,
and I was just like, can Ziggler's moves be like protected a little bit? Can we get a little something here? But
they never do. With Dolph, in legit execution, the zigzag is great. I want to know what you guys think about it, because I like the zigzag. You like the zigzag. The super kick is, Shawn Michaels, whatever. Famouser, Billy. I love Billy, so that's fine. But everybody kicks out. Everybody. Even like your Drew Gulak kicks out of it. Tony Nese kicks out of it. But in the end, boom. Rey Mysterio got the win, and then a little bit more interactions, with Bobby Roode and also with Dominic. But you see, like, both of them staring at the champions. So we said this, and I'm pretty sure that next week they're going to make it official, and it's going to be a fatal four-way. It's going to be, Otis and Chad Gable, the Mysterios, the, Street Profits, and also Roode and Dolph Ziggler. They're for the titles. So it's going to be, a pretty good match. There's not going to be a ladder, and they're not going to do that because they're already doing a ladder for NXT. But at least, a multi-man tag, and hopefully Mysterios get the win. That will be a really good show and a good moment for them, especially for Rey, because outside, like, remember, like when he won the World Heavyweight Championship, Rey hasn't had any more legit moments on WrestleMania. All right.
Like I had said earlier, the Mysterios need this. It'll be a feel-good moment for them, for the fans, for everybody at WrestleMania. So that's what I'm hoping for. But it is WWE, so sometimes expect the unexpected, and usually the unexpected is bullshit. So.
It is bull, but like we said, we're not really upset. It was actually a pretty decent episode of SmackDown. Don't forget, family. Thank you for coming in, subscribing, and all of that. We really appreciate it. Let us know how you guys feel. Thank you, Steven. Also, so let's go to the main event time. Big Dog finally comes out, or the tribal chief, or the head of the table. You guys, he has so many names, like it's like really hard to not mention all of them. So finally, Adam Pearce is going to give his decision with the WrestleMania, and he's just mentioning, he's talking about, hey, WrestleMania is like the grandest stage of them all. He has to make the best decision to give the fans the best match that they can actually get, and he mentions that it's going to be a triple threat. Why are they doing this? Reports mere kind of claiming, I want your thoughts about this. They're saying because Edge is 47, so they don't want to put him in like, long match. They don't want to like, jeopardize like injuries because he's kind of old.
But
So
what about the greatest wrestling match at Backlash? That was an extremely long match.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. But like he got injured, like,
Yeah.
remember? So like,
Yeah, I mean that's true. That is the match he did get injured, but it's like, you're almost saying you don't have faith in the guy, unless they're saying let's maybe not, have him in there for a long time right away. Let's see, let's get, him used to the schedule again. But I think, I mean that's probably definitely true. But I also think Edge is better as a heel, so turn him heel, and then you need a baby face in this match, so it'll be Daniel Bryan. But I mean, hey, both reasons make sense. And I like it because, I mean, at the end of the day, I still think Edge is going to win. Whether he's heel or babyface, I still think he's going to win. So whether they make it a triple threat or singles match, to me, doesn't make really too much of a difference because all three of these guys are legit. It's not like, you have these two guys and then, some bullshit guy who you add in like, oh, the great Khali. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
It's not like you added somebody who sucks. It's three guys who can go, three guys who are legit. So I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, and like I feel that like everybody's just reminiscing like WrestleMania 20. You know that like you love all those three guys. That's how you kind of like remember we got into. You start loving wrestling even more when you saw that triple threat. So maybe it's a similar story. So you can actually have that. And Daniel Bryan having this big moment. I mean, it's just because of the promo work. Sometimes I guess he's really good at inserting himself in those feuds. In this one, I never saw the reason. When Batista, and Randy Orton, who wants to see legit Batista and Randy Orton? Legit at that time in the game, 2014, nobody. So that's why I feel that like they added Daniel Bryan. But in this one, I didn't see the need. But if they do it, you know what? Like you said, it's just for like Edge to be just like the rated R superstar or ultimate opportunist. So I really like this. And then, Roman Reigns start attacking Daniel Bryan and Edge, but Edge got the upper hand. He becomes Super Edge, got spear or hug, Roman and Daniel Bryan, and then he actually started attacking with the chair. Really good action. Edge, completely heel for me. But again, it's the reason that he's heel is actually a reason that I don't see that like he's really evil. He's just, hey, I want something and I want to protect it. So I don't see that like he really is like going out of like the heel completely. It's just like, hey, he wants to protect his moment, his dream. 10 years is way longer than a year or two for Daniel Bryan. So, and then, every time that he says, I have my every match can be my last, legit my last. So I feel that it just makes a whole lot of sense if he feels that way. But then, boom, he attacked Daniel Bryan more than Roman, and he was going to go for a concerto. So what do you think? Like, finally, Edge, going back to like the really old ways of being a heel.
Yeah, it is like Edge snap because he went and Stephen Logan said the perfect just like crazy Edge, and it's like it's a great analogy because it's like his desire to get the title back, the title that he's been saying since he's came back, the title I never lost. I had to give it up, I never lost it, and it's the desire for him to get that back is driving him crazy. Like I said, turning him to the dark side, turning him heel, and I like this because it just gets more sympathy for Daniel Bryan. But also, like you said, if you really listen to what Edge says and you think about it, he should have some sympathy too. But it's like, oh, he shouldn't go to the, be evil and, snap like this. But, everything he says does have a point.
Exactly. So then you see like, and like we always mentioned that all these acting classes that Edge has had, all this, TV shows that he's done, like he has so many layers and how to like present more emotion. How like he can channel that inner emotion. Probably this is how he felt when he was told he had to retire. That like his neck will snap or he will be in a wheelchair if he starts wrestling. Look at that. Look at the man right there, like how pissed off or like focused on getting that title is. And then we get to see the chair, like kind of like reminiscent Bailey on Eddie Guerrero or Daniel Bryan. A really cool picture, a really good way to end the show for me. He's pissed off that it's going to be a triple threat. Hey, like you said, in the end, he has to win it. Because why coming back if he's not going to win it?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I hope he wins it. And because I think, you built him up and everything, even when he was babyface last year, got hurt. Even though he's heel now, kind of heelish, I still think he deserves to win it. And, you can still tell a story with Daniel Bryan. Like I said, Extreme Rules, whatever pay-per-view follows WrestleMania, are not Extreme Rules. Usually it's like, what is it, Backlash, some kind of pay-per-view like that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You could have that, Daniel Bryan. You could still tell that story while you get Cesaro ready, somebody like that. So I think Edge needs to win. And, maybe a lot of that's the thing. Roman might win this because a lot of people are saying, oh, Daniel Bryan, because they're really pushing him. Oh, Edge, because he won the Royal Rumble, blah, blah, blah. Ed, let's cash in on the nostalgia, Attitude Era, all that good stuff. But it's like, what about Roman?
Yeah.
Roman could just retain and be like, screw all you guys. So we'll have to wait and see.
It could be. It could really be like that. So like that will be a completely swerve. But like they did so many things like with Lesnar. Remember, like to Roman. So maybe it's time for Roman to do that. All of that, and nobody will be really pissed because his job is heel. Even for me, remember I've said I don't like it. I think that is bad. But the job itself is really good for Roman. So family, this is what we have the show for SmackDown. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope we did, could entertain you, for the time that we were here. So please, help us out, subscribing, also give the bell, for like notifications every single time we upload, and also give the video a like so this video gets, pushed to higher ranks. And, we will be back for Monday Night Raw. We'll have a lot of more content for you guys. WrestleMania is, right there around the corner. So there's going to be a lot of shows, and we're going to be covering every single one of them, Paul. So where can they find us?
And make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and of course right here on YouTube, the Original Rope Break.
Thank you, family. Thank you, Stephen Logan, for coming in. All of single one. Have a great weekend, and you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...